Good morning or good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the InduSoft On Demand Consulting Services webinar. My name is Fabio Teresino. I'll be the host for the webinar today. And here the quick agenda. I divided in three areas, three parts. First, consulting services. So I'll provide a quick introduction, the goal, pretty much why InduSoft offers consulting services, what we offer and for who we offer, the team, the process, the delivery model, the different ways we can help you with consulting services, and last but not least at all, services on demand, a new option we offer to our channels, which has been recently released as a tool that many of our channels are taking advantage of. Then I'll show some case studies, some real-world applications, templates, and the BI dashboard add-on. All examples of applications and products created through the consulting services team from InduSoft. And then I will open for Q&A. So if you have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to write them in the chat box from the WebEx. You can use the bar from WebEx on the top of your monitor and select either the chat or the Q&A interface and just write your questions at any moment. And after the regular presentation, I will open for Q&A and read your questions and hopefully answer them to your satisfaction. With that, at first, I would like to sincerely thank each one of you. InduSoft keeps growing, is one of the most rapidly growing HMI in the market, if not the fastest one. And it's really thanks to you, to our partners, our channels, our system integrators, distributors, OEMs, customers. InduSoft pretty much is growing because of you, and we thank you for that. It has been a great relationship, and as most of you know, InduSoft has been acquired by Invensys in 2013 and became part of the Schneider Group early last year in 2014, and we keep growing the business, and it is business as usual, and our partners and channels keep promoting our solution, and we keep evolving the product. So it's business as usual, and fortunately, we keep growing in market share. And once again, thank you, because as I wrote there, together we are stronger. It is a real partnership, and the services team is part of this partnership. So the goal for the services team in InduSoft is to offer professional services, to create specifications, to design applications, develop applications, or even deploy applications locally or remotely during the startup. And those applications are the applications we have expertise, which are human-machine interfaces, HMI, supervisory control and data acquisition, SCADA, and in some cases MES projects as well, all of them using InduSoft Web Studio. So, of course, we are able to integrate InduSoft to PLCs, to databases, ERP systems, barcode readers, RFID readers, scales, printers, different systems, mobile devices, but our expertise is in InduSoft Web Studio. We partner with other companies. If you need physical installation of hardware or PLC programming software, those services we do not offer through our team. But anything that needs to be designed or developed or deployed with InduSoft Web Studio, which is our flagship product, we offer services to help you on that. And our target audience are system integrators and OEMs. InduSoft is primarily a product company, that's our main business, and we created the services team pretty much to support system integrators and OEMs that use our product, and it has grown very rapidly through the demand we have from our system integrators and OEMs for professional services provided directly by InduSoft. And the advantages that we offer to our system integrators and OEMs is pretty much the experience we have. Pretty much all application engineers in the consulting services team are senior application engineers with 3, 4, 5, 10 plus years of experience designing, developing applications with InduSoft day in, day out. Some of them worked several years on technical support, so they have a broad experience over different industries. So we bring this experience to bring productivity. And with high productivity, we can offer affordability to our system integrators and OEMs. You're going to see we offer different types of projects from turnkey to a few hours of consulting services, but the whole idea is to offer services that save you time, even though, of course, we receive compensation for the consulting services, and we'll talk about cost in a minute. The time that we save with high productivity and direct access to the R&D team offset the cost you would incur if you had to design some specific interfaces yourself. And we have several internal templates that we use in the team to increase even more the productivity. As I mentioned, we have direct access to the R&D team for InduSoft Web Studio, so it's not rare that we pretty much collaborate with the R&D team and create features, tools in the actual product to help us in sophisticated projects that we are designing. And we offer total privacy and intellectual property protection. So the projects that you hire us to help you design, we do not share with anybody other than whoever hired us to design the project. And the intellectual property, the actual project that we designed, is the complete application is intellectual property from the company that hired us to design it. So we offer all the sources from the application configuration, and the system integrator or the OEM can eventually evolve the application by themselves, modify the application, maintain the application. So it's not a black box, and we have no intention whatsoever to keep system integrators, partners, or OEMs hijacked with InduSoft and depend on us to make any changes on the application. Everything that we deliver is open to you, and you are free to modify and evolve the application by yourselves, as many OEMs and system integrators have done. Some of them are even attending this webinar. And again, our expertise is pretty much anything that you can design with InduSoft Web Studio, which are typically HMI, SCADA, MES applications. But we have also integrated InduSoft to several SQL relational databases from Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, Sybase, MySQL, Postgre, and many others. Communication with devices. In virtually any project, we configure communication with PLCs, controllers, RFID readers, different types of devices. Cloud-based systems. Cloud-based projects are becoming extremely popular, and we have some system integrators and OEMs that work with InduSoft, so we help them design the application, and eventually they offer this application in a SaaS model, software as a service, and charge a monthly fee or annual fee from end users for using the systems. So multi-tenant systems running on the cloud, and we have helped our channels to design many projects with this architecture. And most projects also take advantage of the thin client interfaces from InduSoft Web Studio, including the SMA interface, Studio Mobile Access, which allows customers to visualize the screens and interact with the screens from mobile devices, cell phones, tablets, even remote computers, using just a web browser. We have a global presence. We have senior applications from the consulting services team in North America, in Latin America, and in Europe as well. As you see here, in different portions, in different states in the U.S., different countries in South America and Europe. And the combined team offers proficiency in English. Pretty much all the engineers in the team communicate in English. But we also have engineers that have proficiency in Spanish, Portuguese, German, and Swedish from some engineers we have in Sweden as well. So as a combined team, we can design applications and help to drive specifications in all those native languages. We have internal processes. InduSoft as a whole has an ISO 9001 quality certification, and we have several SOPs, standard operating procedures, that govern different processes from the company. The main one for consulting services is the SOP ENG 002 for projects. And it describes all the variations, the different ways how we can offer services. And this flow chart is just a framework, and we are quite flexible to adjust it to the specific requirements from each channel. But typically, either InduSoft alone or InduSoft along with a channel follow most of those steps or all those steps in one way or another. Somehow we receive a request for quote, we open the project, we typically write or approve a technical specification. Once there is an approved technical specification and we quote it, then we receive the PO, we start the actual development of the project, deliver beta versions, eventually go to a factory acceptance test. Once the project has been approved in the FAT, then we go to the startup. Once the project has been approved on the startup, we deliver the released version of the project and close the project. And we have all the procedures and documents to keep all the phases of the project documented, and everything is automated, so it does not inflate the cost of the project. And we keep all the backups here, so we have system integrators, OEMs, that came to us years after we designed the project and asked us for a copy of the project because they lost for whatever reason. And we are able to retrieve it from our private clouds within the company and provide the project again to our partners. So, delivery model. What are the typical methods that we use to offer professional services to our partners? Here I listed the most common ones, but there are variations within those models as well. The first one is custom training. There are system integrators or OEMs that want to design the applications themselves, but they are new to InduSoft, and they, as everybody, they want to be as efficient as possible and minimize the learning curve as much as possible. So instead of sending someone to the standard hands-on training at InduSoft, or in addition to send someone to the InduSoft training at InduSoft, ask us to send a senior application engineer to their site to sit with their engineers, discuss their specific needs, their specific projects, and then our engineer will train them on InduSoft. We will demonstrate how to use InduSoft Web Studio to design the specific interfaces they need for their projects, and in some cases we even design portions of the application or the whole application through this initial training. This training could be as long as you want. Typically it is 40 hours, and in this case is what we call the startup kit, when we send an application engineer to your facility for 1 week, for 40 hours, and help you design the application during those 40 hours and train you specifically on the features you need. We do not spend time in interfaces you don't need for your specific project. And after this time, you typically take over the project and finish the development and evolve the project over years. So custom training, or what we call startup kit at the site, are pretty much consulting services at your facility, helping you to design the application. In some rare cases, some customers come to our offices in Austin or in Germany, in Brazil, in different locations, and we can offer the same services at our offices as well. But many customers take advantage of our willingness to go to their site and spend 1 week there, or a few days, or more than 1 week, helping them to understand InduSoft, to learn InduSoft, while designing their applications. We also offer turnkey projects development. Sometimes are conversions. So we have customers that have projects designed with other HMI SCADA projects, and they come to InduSoft. We analyze the original application. We typically have engineers that understand all the major other HMIs, and we have the tools to analyze the applications and offer a fixed cost to convert those applications manually to InduSoft Web Studio. Or if they are new projects, we work with the channels, with the system integrators, the OEMs, to understand the scope of development, the technical specification, and also offer a fixed cost to design the application according to the technical specification. In some cases, by the way, in many cases, we work with our system integrators and OEMs even to write the technical specification describing the scope of development. There are OEMs, especially that use what we call engineering services retention. So they have one or more of our engineers working at their site or from the InduSoft office, but pretty much full-time allocated to design a project or several projects for a specific OEM. So it's pretty much a branch of the InduSoft organization, usually at the customer facility, at the customer office, providing services on a daily basis, helping them designing new projects, maintaining existing projects, and we have some large OEMs that leverage these services from InduSoft, and we can offer those services at a very affordable hourly rate because we have the volume, the commitment to keep the engineer fully allocated for the project through at least the whole year. And finally, we have what we call partial project development. In many cases, we have system integrators or OEMs that are designing the project, but either for not having too much experience in a particular area or just for being overloaded with other projects, wants to outsource the development of specific interfaces from the application for InduSoft. So we offer that as well. We can collaborate with other companies and design specific portions of the project. And sometimes it could take weeks, could take days, or could take hours. And we heard the feedback from several of you, from several system integrators mostly, that said, I would like help to design something in my application, but it's something relatively quick. It should take 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, maybe 8 hours tops. So I just need some hours to get me going on this interface, and then I can take over and design everything else. So to streamline the process for system integrators that want just a few hours of consulting from InduSoft, we introduced a few weeks ago what we call services on demand. So anyone can go to the InduSoft website, typically system integrators, and log on to our website. Pretty much go to InduSoft.com and then select services on demand, sign in, and then you can pick any day in the calendar and select the hours, the period of time that's more convenient to you, and request an appointment. We automatically receive a mail with your information and your request, and as long as we have application engineers available for that particular period, we reply your email pretty much confirming the meeting, and use any tools that you can use, like webinars or TeamViewer, remote tools to contact you and help you on the particular interface you need help for. So it's a very easy to use interface. It is very simple. We charge an hourly rate of $150 per hour with a minimum of 2 hours, and it's instant gratification. So you do not have to go through a complex process of specification, receiving a quote, sending a PO. You do pretty much everything online, and it's very quick and very easy. So I'm going to switch here to my web browser and show really quick how it looks like on the website. So you go to www.indusoft.com. Under Products and Downloads, you have Services, and under Services, you have Services on Demand. Here on Services on Demand, you can register just with your username and email if you are not a user registered in the InduSoft website, or you can simply log in if you have already registered. So you can enter your email, your password, and then you go directly to the Services on Demand. So here in the calendar, you can pick any day that's convenient to you, any period, morning or afternoon. Pick a period of time. So let's say from this time, 8:30, 4 hours. The time is always in Central Time, in the U.S. Central Time, so keep it in mind when you set the time here. And when you hit next, we just ask for some information, a brief description about the services you need, and you submit your request. And typically within a few hours, or in the worst case scenario, within 24 hours, you should receive a feedback from our team confirming the meeting or trying to reschedule to a different time if nobody is available. But typically we have at least one engineer available to fulfill requests at any given time. So it's a very easy to use services on demand, but you can always contact InduSoft directly. Send an email to info@indusoft.com, to support@indusoft.com, or even directly to me or anybody else you know at InduSoft, and we can discuss projects and negotiate projects individually as well. But the Services on Demand is a great tool, a kind of self-service interface where you can request consulting services in a very easy and quick way. Sorry. So I have here some case studies. We have designed literally hundreds and hundreds of projects to system integrators and OEMs. I just put together a few here because most of them customers ask for privacy, so we do not share them with anybody. The ones I'm showing here are either generic projects that we designed ourselves and made available to the whole market, or are projects designed by OEMs that authorized us to share some information about their projects, and we have case studies published in the website, in the InduSoft website. So one is the Flowtronics. It is a local HMI for pumping systems, typically for golf courses, and it's a very generic application. Most of the applications that we designed are type of templates that can be customized during the runtime. That's one expertise of the team. And we designed this generic template for golf courses, and every time that Flowtronics deploy a new pump station, they run the application on a local touchscreen HMI, select the number of pumps they have, the type of pumps, the type of equipment, and so on, and the application on the fly pretty much adjusts itself to show the screens, the interfaces, the objects, and the communication for that type of site. So it's a generic application that they have deployed to literally hundreds, if not thousands, of pump stations around the world. University of Texas has used InduSoft to design an energy management system for their campus. It's the second largest campus in the U.S., more than 200 buildings and more than 3,000 meters. And we evolved this application over time with them and helped them to create the graphical interfaces. So the application does anything from monitoring the online and history consumption of electric meters, chilled water meters, domestic water meters, steam, different kind of meters, and show the consumption over time, the immediate consumption, show some dashboards and compare the consumptions from different buildings, different rooms, different meters, and we even link to a weather database online and provide regression analysis, showing them, allowing them not only to predict the consumption in the future based on expansions in weather conditions, but also to compare the consumption from the most recent periods of time compared to previous periods of times. So they can see pretty much when they take actions like changing windows or introducing campaigns to save energy, they can measure how efficient those initiatives were, not only comparing raw values from consumption, but also normalizing those values to weather conditions, mostly temperature, so they can compare apples to apples and have a more accurate measurement of the energy savings and energy efficiency as a whole. PML Edge, we have one engineer from this group at the webinar, and thanks for attending, Brad, by the way. And we have designed originally an application for them. It's a cloud-based system to monitor gas wells, gas exploration wells, which is a service offered by this company. And they offer this service in a multi-tenant schema to the end users, to the actual well owners. And the system pretty much provides online data and history data about the well perforation system, the drilling system. So they see anything from online information, as you see here on the left tree view. As a user logs in, we automatically filter the sites and the wells that are visible, that should be visible for that particular user. So one user has no access whatsoever to the data from another user. And they see anything from online data, history data, drilling, vertical drilling charts with variables over time or over depth. They can also monitor and customize the lithology of the soil. They can change, customize, set up from the system the actual dimensions of the well. They can visualize the interlocking system and monitor the status in real time. They can see the perforation in diagrams in different dimensions. So this is a small snapshot of the system. There is also a video under the InduSoft website where one of the principals from this company demonstrates the system in real life and shows and provides more details about the advantages of the system. And we deliver this application to the customer, and now they are evolving the system and maintaining the system by themselves. So again, it's not a black box. We deliver all the configuration you hired us to design for you, and then you can evolve the project yourself. Our goal is, again, to save you time, to offer you an affordable way to leverage our experience, our proximity to the R&D team, to design something that could take longer for you to design, or if you have other priorities, other services, we could offer those services as well during the time where you do not have availability, and then eventually, if you want, you can take over the project development and evolve it by yourself. Our team, the consulting services team, has also designed several templates for building automation, for OEE, for PackML, many different templates. And many times we leverage those templates that we created, which, by the way, are available to download from our website, and use them in real-world applications to, again, save time when designing the applications and offer even more affordable services to our system integrators and OEMs. Another example is the BI dashboard, which is a generic application created by the consulting services team from InduSoft, and it's a product in itself. It's a generic application that can be customized during the runtime, so system integrators, OEMs, or even end users can purchase this application, and during the runtime, link to databases, define queries to read data from databases, and build graphical dashboards with charts like pie charts, Paretos, tables, bar graphs, trends, and so on during the runtime. So it's a very generic, very easy to use, yet very powerful tool to design dashboards, reading data from pretty much any SQL relational database, typically MDB files or Microsoft SQL Server databases. With that, I would like to open for Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to use the chat or the Q&A box, and you can access those tools at the WebEx toolbar on the top of your monitor. Just ask your questions, and I'll be happy to address them. Some compliments here. Thank you. I appreciate it. And one question is about the cost of the consulting services. So the standard hourly rate for a senior application engineer is $150 per hour, plus traveling expenses, usually at cost. And when we send someone to the field, we typically charge a 8 hours day for consulting services, which adds up to $1,200, so $1,200 per day for consulting services at the field for a startup, plus traveling expenses. And this is the regular rate for small to medium projects. When there are large opportunities, like year-long retention service, we usually are able to negotiate lower rates for the volume of the service. Another question here is if InduSoft designs PLC programs as well, and the answer is InduSoft offers services to design HMI, SCADA, MES systems with InduSoft Web Studio, and to interface those applications with PLCs, databases, ERP systems, but we do not write the PLC program itself. There are several partners and system integrators and even OEMs that have this expertise. Our expertise is on the InduSoft Web Studio HMI application and the interface of this application with other devices, PLCs, databases, or ERP systems. So another question is, what other HMIs InduSoft is able to convert to InduSoft Web Studio? Virtually any. HMIs, where we have a tool to automatically convert the application to InduSoft. So usually we just sell those tools, which are the Panel Builder Import Wizard and the Panel Mate Import Wizard, which automatically converts usually anything from 80% to 100% of those applications directly to InduSoft Web Studio. But for other HMIs in the market, we usually offer manual consulting services to convert them to InduSoft. And typically we just need a copy of the application or screenshots and descriptions about the functionality of the application, communication map, this kind of information, and then we can manually design a equivalent application with InduSoft Web Studio. Another question is if the service is available for Latin America, and absolutely yes. We have several engineers in Latin America, both in Peru, for example, in Brazil. So we do offer services to Latin America, and we have engineers that not only are physically located there, but also have proficiency in Spanish and in English. So absolutely, you can offer the engineering services, even the consulting services on demand, and in the description just describe that you'd like a service in to interact with an engineer that's proficient in Spanish or any other language, or that's physically located in Latin America or any other region. Excellent. One question is, are the rates the same anywhere in the world? We typically, the baseline is $150 for resources we use in the Americas, and 150 euros for services for resources we use in Europe. But again, this is a baseline. Depending on the characteristics of each project, we can pretty much negotiate, understand the functionality, and provide different rates. But typically, when we offer a fixed price based on project specification, we are extremely competitive due to the productivity that we can achieve using resources that have many years of experience with the product and several internal libraries and templates that we can leverage in different projects. The online on-demand services, to simplify, is always $150 per hour with a minimum of 2 hours per request. Very well. So with that, I think we covered all the questions. So I just would like to show you some contact information for InduSoft. This information is available on the InduSoft website as well, but you can use those numbers here to contact InduSoft for licensing, support, and you can use pretty much the support line to ask for consulting services as well. And there are some general contact information here for InduSoft in Latin America, in North America, in Europe, different websites, different phone numbers. But again, if you go to InduSoft.com, this information is readily available there as well. With that, once again, thank you very much for your time and for attending the webinar today. I hope we provided information that could be useful for you. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to contact us at any time. Thank you and have a great day.